Hello, 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 my loves. It's like I do costume changes, right? This is my hair. So, I got a really cool, clear message that I've never stopped to think about. And I think one of those things that as we start really, now that people are really open to embracing their true, authentic emotions, a lot more people are realizing their empath gifts, how we're all empaths and how we feel much deeper than others sometimes. And then as empaths, we have different gifts where we realize, okay, I can hear things more, I can feel things more, I can see things more. This is where we start getting into the different types of trance work and healing works and clairvoyancy, clairaudience, all this. The channeling, people who say it when they're saying they channel another being that comes through. So the fun thing that I like to try to give is some type of facilitation of like making sense, so people don't look at it like, whoa, it's so weird and scary and creepy. What happens is there's those of us who are very receptive and receivable to energy. This is empaths. Anyone can be an empath if they're allowed themselves to discard themselves of all of the numbing from outside society, from your name to your ethnicity to your culture to what your parents taught you to what education taught you. Understand they were put in place for a reason, but you know that looking at nature, which controls itself and it's just fine without rules, and then you go out and you go camping or you live in nature for a while and you realize like I'm just fine without rules and no one's stopping me from living and I'm creating at my own accord. That's when you're able to clear the body and it becomes an instant vessel to spirit. I always say like a whistle. We're all whistles. Think like you're a whistle and you're clogged, and no one ever told you that you were clogged. They were just putting stuff in you because you thought that's what you were built for. And you just have all this stuff built inside of you, again, the absorption work. So if you go through the absorption work and you start realizing like, oh my God, like this absorbs me, but I need to chip this out, get this out of here. I haven't used that in years. You start breaking holes and making airspace. And then that stuff that was impacted in you is able to crumble away and you have no attachment to it. This is when we talk about the ego, the body, the vessel. Like you can't have an attachment to your own body and the happenings around it and then blame God. Like a bird knows that if the wind blows too hard and smacks it into a window, it's not going to be like, fuck you, God. I mean, it might. I don't know what a bird thinks. But the point is that it's part of, it's just part of aviation. I'm sure the bird smacked into many of things. It's like, man, I'm getting gusted over. It's like riding a bike. So it's understanding that the vessel can get mad, but for what? And then when it gets mad, it has nowhere to put those emotions, so we project it onto whatever is around us, and that becomes our new emotional imprint of what we think is real. So when you're able to work through these types of things, spirit's like, all right, I'm going to say some stuff to you and I'm going to let you think about it, and then however it comes back to you, express it. And I'm like, okay. So however it comes in, I just say it and feel how my heart reacts. You know how you try to think about, like, someone's like, okay, write this paper, and they pick the topic, and then they want you, then you got to go think about this topic and how to make it relatable and relative to your life. You know what I mean? May it be you just go look up a bunch of facts about it and you still sort of learn something, trying to not care, or you emotionally like connected to a story where you're like, oh, I have something that reminds me of this, that I can really put some real like emotion into this to make it more, to make some more emotionality, the connection that we all seek. So that's a level of channeling. Okay, where you get to the level of standing on a stage and speaking in front of large groups, you kind of have to, at some point in your life, it's just an energy where you've allowed spirit to talk to you so much that you go out and you try to apply things. It's like a science project. Life is a science project. It's all a big experiment. You observe something, you witness it, you see the pattern enough that you're like, is that really how that works? Or if that pattern throws it off, it'll change. Because that one time, that damn bird flew into the window, everything stopped, and everyone stopped doing that thing that always was going. And then they're like, wait, let me think about this. It's not going anymore. And the world hasn't stopped. So that means I can keep adding new experiments to the world. No one says you can't. As long as you're not hurting anyone, that's when the whole like trying to do competition and knowledge. And yeah, there's a level of duality of that where you can use control and fear to get what you want, but allowing it to just be like, okay, I'm not going to disturb this environment. It is what it is. That energy is that energy. But I see the system around it that's not aiding it. Okay? When you can see a system around behavior that's not aiding anything, that's when you start stepping into your mindset of the creator, the co-creator. And you start really viewing the world as an audience or as a TV show. Some people, they love to interact and be a part of the show. I'm gonna get out here and act my ass off. I'm gonna get out here and act a damn fool. I'm gonna be out here and be recording people. I'm gonna get out and start shit. I'm gonna talk shit. That's people who like learn like, ooh, I wanna be on stage. I wanna be part of the show. That's fine. There's plenty of rotation for actors because eventually they wanna be who they are and then they use who they are and their celebrity to get to the platform that they wanna be on. But now we're at that level of, I don't have to do all that. I don't need to appease a crowd that doesn't want to watch. There's plenty of other options to watch. You start learning how to channel and get more down to what you care about. It's a weird way to think about it, but it's like you start filtering out the stuff that the mass cares about because the mass is reactionary to whatever someone or something says is cool enough or popular enough, and then it becomes the mass. Trending, going viral, that shit, okay? Why? Because it's an emotional connection, a bunch of people who are like, oh my God, I feel that way. I like that. Emotions. That's the collective. So if you go back and you say, okay, well, I see that the system of giving and educating and uniting is not through agape love or community. It's through divisiveness and control. You start to find a way to channel. This is just how channeling goes. All the things you feel that are passion are channel portals because it's igniting something in your soul that's saying, you care about this. You should be saying something or doing something. You're like, what can I do? What can I do? I don't know, but we got to start somewhere. And then that's where the anxiousness comes in. But when you clear your mind and say, this is not about the body, this is not about the ego, the soul has to work through this, that's when the sitting still and being still comes into play. May it be silent or not. Again, silence is an option I feel that is necessary when the body's like, I want to hear myself. And then sometimes the soul's like, I need something to distract me while I feel myself. This has been in both of our worlds. But together, how I'm talking to you, I have music playing in the background because the music comforts my body, my heart, my soul, and then it allows my mind to speak freely without feeling like it's being judged. That's how we start channeling first, allowing the heart to genuinely express itself without feeling like I need to talk a certain way, I have to act a certain way or sit a certain way. I'm just talking to you. I'm just speaking to you. That's who I am. That's the authenticism of when we feel someone's being genuine. We can feel if I'm talking like this. Wow, yeah, doesn't that feel like it's forced in a way? Doesn't it feel so real? This is how I really talk. But there's people who do that all day long and be like, why doesn't anyone trust me? Because you ain't trust yourself, bitch. You out here putting out 18 different faces in a day and 15 seconds and wondering why people looking at you like, who are you? This is how we get our respect back, by taking all the mask off to let people truly see the artist behind all of the mask. That's when we expose ourselves and spirits like, this is my whistle. Whoo, they're cleaned out. They're ready to be heard. That's when spirit is able to then, when people say it, the only feeling I can get is a whoosh, whoosh, like the waves. That is how channeling happens when you're to the point where it's just 24/7. When you become a vessel to be a channeler, you don't really get to choose when stuff comes through. You wake up at any time of the night or day, or stuff just comes through. It's like an artist. I mean, it's not like an artist. It is an artist when they got to just paint. I got to get up and draw. I got to get up and do. That's the humanities. The humanities are connected to the emotions, which is our God source, our spirit, where inspiration comes through. And so if we stay an open vessel, it just comes in like an overflowing gift that like you're never tapped out and you trust. So that means you never restrict any muscles or portals to cut spirit off. Because as soon as you start restricting, portal starts closing, and then all the water starts splashing around you, and your blessings start going to other people, and you're like, wait, I mean, I'm happy for them, but why is that not happening to me? Because you're closed off, not allowing yourself to say what you have to say. You're a vessel of God. Everything, when we say the birds chirp and it's beautiful, and we hear them whistling and all that, that's God. If the birds didn't chirp, would it be beautiful? You don't even know, because you don't know what the beauty of it is until you hear it, right? That is the point. You have to express yourself. Say what you need to say. Speak your truth, but you don't have to hurt anyone while you're speaking. And you don't have to hurt yourself while speaking. If you allow yourself to truly open your heart and speak from a place of authority, then you know that you're not lying. And then there's no guilt or shame. When you feel like you're trying to speak through another's point of view or perspective, you stop channeling from spirit and you start channeling old memories. And then it's like dipping into the sewage or digging into the ground of all the fossil fuels of ancestors to pull out old relics to say, oh, this still has power. And then you wonder why we have... Seriously, that's what I visualize. You have all these people, like, what was it? Oh my God, that show on Netflix. Dark Star, True Star, I forgot. Oops. Great show though. And it's just these people just sitting around feeding off old energy. It don't do nothing except make you more, oh yeah, you feel powerful, but you're just trapping yourself in an ever going cycle of fearing your own death or your own demise. Allow the ego death to happen. Just let it happen. You're still you. That's how you get to the point of not caring, where you're like, oh, I don't give a fuck about how you feel about me. Thank you. I can love you to death. People don't understand. You can love someone to death and they be like, you ain't shit. Okay. Was I supposed to feel something about that? Some people want you to. And if you don't, they're like, what is it about you that I can't get to? I'm an open vessel to spirit, honey. I don't get used by other people anymore, ever. I mean, I don't think I ever have, but for the most part, I don't think there's an inkling of me that can be used by another human being. The only thing that I'm tapped into is source. So that's why I'm always able to balance myself. I'm always in a place of constant balance, even influx, emotional ups and downs, feeling frustrated, not knowing. And then when I stop and listen to myself, which is my body, I talk to my heart. I talk to my spirit. What's wrong, babe? What's going on? What's wrong? It's my inner child and it's my baby. Remember that. Your inner child is your heart. But then that energy of how you love that baby, that's your spouse. That's your baby. So my heart, hey, baby, what's up? What we going through? And I'm just frustrated. Okay. Well, I don't want to get frustrated with you because that ain't going to help the situation. Anxiety. So let me try to stay calm and let me keep us balanced. Let me stretch. I don't feel like stretching. I know, just stretch. Breathe. Clear out some of that stagnicity. And then right there, you get a little oxygen to your brain, get a little air. When you hold your breath, you're holding old air. When you breathe, you're breathing in fresh air, fresh ideas. And then you become the whistle, the vessel, which source can then whistle through freely. However you get there is how you get there. As long as we get there together has always been the principal point of agape love. If you heal one way, heal. We don't all have to heal the same way. If you want to say, fuck you, world, and punch a wall and you come out normal, great. As long as you ain't punching people in the faces while you're doing it, I'm good. You know what I mean? It's a level of frustration you might need to work through, but as long as you get to love in the end, that's what matters. If you have to cry yourself through it, cry yourself through it. Just know that we can't allow the outside world's projections of our insecurities and fears to keep being what we rely on to get to our place of balance and love. We know how to love. Love is not to blame. Love is more than just romantic. Love is who we are. So if we have to balance it all so that we can understand that we all just want to be loved, and that means we have to heal first. And we all need to leave space to heal without judging each other. So do you. Just keep doing you while you understand that other people are going to keep growing possibly past you, but that doesn't mean your roots ain't stronger and deeper. Allow it to become what it needs to, love, and you would develop and blossom into whatever channel, source, wants you to be, and you'll find your passion. All right. I love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah.